Hey everybody, Yankee here. As you probably already know, SHOT Show is well underway, and I am not there, which is making me a little bit sad. But seeing some of the guns that are going to be coming out this year that are showing up at SHOT Show right now is making me feel a little bit better. And one of those guns is a gun that I loved when it first came out. It was the Hudson H9. Remember, I talked all kinds of good things about this gun. Loved this gun. But I was worried about some of the moves they were making as far as development and marketing and releasing it a little too early. And it turns out my concerns were justified because they went bankrupt. And a really good gun ended up being tossed aside. Well, it's been resurrected. I guess it's a proverbial zombie gun. Not because it's good for taking out zombies, which I'm sure it would be good for that, but because it itself has risen from the dead. Now it is the Daniel Defense H9. Now, it isn't exactly the same gun. And when I actually started looking at it, I realized some of the changes I don't like. There's been a lot of changes. Let's look at the two guns side by side. The new Daniel Defense H9 and the old Hudson H9. As I said, there's been lots of changes, most of them good. I'm going to give them that right away. Most of the changes are good, but there's one really bad change that I think might spoil the gun for me. I'll let you see what you think. First off, when we look at them here, you'll see that they do look very similar, but there are some differences. The Daniel Defense H9 has what appear to be some pretty nice upgrades. They've switched to a more standard front rail. The trigger looks more sturdy and better built. It comes with nicer sights right from the factory now. And it's cut for a red dot. That's a nice modernization of the pistol right there. Now, there are a couple aspects on this gun that I'm not sure what they are. Like, I'm not sure what this is right here. I'm assuming it has something to do with takedown, but I'll have to see when I see the gun. And I don't like this little roll pin right here, but, I'm sure there's a reason why it's there. But like I said, mostly changes for the good. But there are some changes for the bad that make me think I really don't care that they resurrected this gun. One, they raised the price. Well, of course they did. It's Daniel Defense. They raised it about $150, which I hope I'm allowed to say that without getting in trouble. But that's one change they made that I can deal with because it does have a lot of upgrades. So I think that change in price is probably justified. But there's some things that I just don't like. Like, I don't like how they changed the grip texturing. That doesn't look like a positive to me, but that's open to interpretation. It depends on the user whether that's a good or a bad thing. Another thing that I really don't like is they really changed the slide contours. One of the things about the Hudson H9 that I loved was the way the slide had a unique shape to it. Now they flattened it out, looks like a slide to almost any other gun. So not crazy about that change. But the big change that really kind of threw me out of this, made me not as interested in this gun anymore, is they've changed the entire profile of the gun, the overall look of the gun. If you look at the slide on the Daniel Defense gun, it looks different. And because of that, it looks like it might be a hair taller. And that does factor out when I do the measurements here. But it's just a hair. But the big problem is, look at the front end. They've taken a lot of size away from the front of this gun. And a lot of the weight that was towards the front of this gun. So I can't imagine this shoots as well as the old Hudson H9. It looks like the bore axis is probably a hair higher and there's less weight in the front now. And not only that, but it completely changes the look of the gun. When you look at the Hudson H9, the thing I loved about this gun is it looked very futuristic. It looked like something you'd see Bruce Willis carrying in an 80s movie. The newer one, not so much. It looks like a Steyr. So as far as being a unique gun on the market, I just don't think it's that unique anymore. Now, there are still some things about this gun that make it unique and make it something a lot of people would like. If you want a gun that's very 1911-ish, but it's striker fired, this would be the gun for you. If you want a striker fired gun that has that straight pullback trigger, this would be the gun for you because it does have that straight pullback trigger, much like a 1911. But that's about it now. Before, I would say if you wanted a gun that was unique, this would be the gun for you. If you wanted a gun that shot like no other gun I'd ever felt, this might be the gun for you. Because of those dynamics of how it's built and how it's weighted, etc. It was just amazing to shoot. I can't see that, like I said, being true of this gun, so I don't think I can say that anymore either. So in the end, even though I am happy to see the Hudson H9 rise from the dead, as I said, I'm not as happy as it could be. because I think Daniel Defense here had an opportunity to take a great gun with some minor flaws and make it an excellent gun. But instead, they took a unique gun, a great gun, and made it into just a good gun. And I don't like seeing that. So as far as this gun goes, like I said, I am happy to see it. There are some things about it people will like that we discussed. But as far as it being the same unique, amazing pistol that the Hudson H9 was, I think Daniel Defense had to put their own spin on it, and I think they spun it the completely wrong direction.